The second aspect in your eating pattern that affects the destructive metabolic cycle is the response food has on your blood sugar levels. The foods that best fuel the brain to get your body going optimally are carbohydrate-rich foods. These foods include any of the following: grains such as rice, corn, wheat, barley, and pasta. Any type of bread or crackers made from flour. Starchy vegetables like potato and sweet potato. Legumes in the form of lentils, chickpeas, and beans. Porridges and all the different types of cereals. Any type of fruit. All vegetables. Milk and any milk product such as yogurt, custard, or buttermilk. And sugary foods like sweets, biscuits, and cakes, as well as cold drinks and sport drinks. Our biggest dilemma in modern-day living, however, is that although all of these are carbohydrate-rich, not all foods are equal in their way of being processed in your body. In an unrefined, unprocessed, whole grain form, carbohydrate-rich foods will supply sugar in your body for up to 3 hours. When you eat these foods with 3-hour intervals, they will prevent your blood sugar from dropping to or climbing into the red zone, which is detrimental for your health. They have the added advantage that they will make you feel full and satisfied. They act as an appetite suppressant and control your appetite. What more do you want? No more cravings, never hungry. Optimum energy for the day. The group of carbohydrate-rich foods with a slow release of sugar in the blood has a low glycemic index. Examples of foods with a low GI include the following: grains like rice, wild or brown, whole corn or on the cob, barley, crushed wheat, millet, and quinoa. Seeded low GI bread, whole grain crackers, and whole rye bread. Pastas, rolled oats and oat bran, and whole wheat cereals. Dried legumes such as lentils, butter beans, dried peas, chickpeas, and baked beans, dried, cooked, or canned. Sweet potato and baby potatoes. Any type of fruit and vegetables. Low-fat or fat-free milk and yogurt. Low-fat buttermilk, custard, and flavored milk. These wholesome, low GI foods, eaten at regular intervals, reverse the destructive metabolic cycle. Furthermore, this will ensure that you have adequate dietary fiber intake of at least 20 to 30 grams per day. You can only achieve this by eating unrefined, unprocessed whole grains, bread, and at least 5 portions of fruit and vegetables per day. By achieving this goal, you will also take in enough vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, and phytochemicals to combat the health-destructive effects of the oxidation, inflammation, and insulin resistance in your body. Today's modern society is mainly the result of industrialization, with modern techniques of food processing like milling, grinding, cooking at high temperatures, extrusion, flaking and popping. Wholesome whole grains can, for example, undergo the following changes. Rice is converted into rice cakes or Rice Krispies. Corn to cornflakes or refined or coarse maize meal or corn cakes. Corn is also converted to a highly refined corn syrup or high fructose corn syrup, which is used as a sweetener in imported fruit juices, cool drinks, yogurt, and jams. Whole wheat into flour or puffed wheat or wheat breakfast biscuits. The sad news is that your body quickly digests and absorbs these changed or processed foods. Your pancreas is then signaled for a surge of insulin. As a consequence, your blood sugar will rocket into the red zone, where your health is at risk. It will then plummet back into the lower red zone, where the vicious cycle of cravings and overeating starts all over again. This means only one thing: bad news. These foods are classified as having a high sugar response or a high GI. When eaten at inappropriate times, foods with a high GI will inflame your body and make you gain fat. The destructive metabolic cycle is then fueled by these high blood sugar levels. Here are some more examples of foods with a high glycemic index: white, brown, and regular whole wheat bread, bread rolls, bagels, rice, or maize crackers. Anything made with cake flour or whole wheat flour like muffins or scones, pizza or pita, biscuits, cakes, and pastries, commercial honey, jams, boiled sweets and jelly-type sweets, sport drinks, carbonated cold drinks, fruit juice. When you squeeze one fruit for juice, you get this much. A glass of fruit juice contains the juice of at least 3 to 5 fruits, even if no sugar is added. It is therefore very concentrated. Dried fruit, if it is not portioned. Any grain that can be cooked and will be ready instantly or within 2 to 3 minutes. The following high GI carbohydrates, listed as one of the first 3 ingredients on a food label, indicate that the product probably has a high glycemic index: starch, dextrose, maltodextrin, modified starch, flour, glucose, honey, corn syrup. Now, what about sugar, you might ask? You don't need to avoid and will not be able to cut out sugar completely. Many of the products highly recommended for insulin resistance contain sugar, such as whole wheat breakfast cereals, whole wheat crackers, and tinned baked beans. However, you have to reduce your sugar intake as well as highly sweetened foods. Check labels and choose foods with a lower sugar content. With the abundance of high GI foods and snacks available in our modern-day living, you simply cannot always make a low GI choice. To balance the high GI, you can add a low GI food to your meal. This will result in a medium sugar response in your blood. Let's look at some strategies. Lower the GI of white bread by having a green apple or a glass of low-fat or fat-free milk or yogurt with the meal. Substitute the 1 slice of the sandwich with half a cup of baked beans. Cooked porridge can be cooled overnight, or you can add 2 teaspoons of raw oat bran to the cooked porridge. Add pickled vegetables to a high GI meal. Add baked beans to a boiled potato. Add lentils to mince. Puree beans and add them as a thickener for sauces, soups, and stews. Choose smaller portions of high GI foods. Drizzle some lemon juice or vinegar onto the salads, vegetables, or fish. If you really feel deprived of something sweet, have it as a dessert after a meal, but not as a snack on its own. For more details on a complete GI and fiber reference list, visit my website at www.nellysilphus.co.za. As promised, we will now look at what to eat when you are exercising. When you exercise for 40 minutes or longer, your blood sugar levels will drop into the lower red zone. If you don't correct it within 10 minutes after completing the exercise routine, your body will search for energy and will go into stress, followed by the vicious cycle as discussed earlier, and all your efforts might be in vain. Your body will not burn fat. A higher GI food or drink is now a must. A glass of fruit juice is a healthy choice. If you've been feeling deprived of sweet things lately, now is treat time. Try a few jelly beans, boiled sweets, or marshmallows. For exercise routines lasting longer than an hour, like cycling or running, it is essential to have high GI drinks and foods during the trip. The longer the trip, the more snacks you need. If you have diabetes, diluted fruit juice or a banana is a better choice. We have already seen that exercise is the first line of treatment for insulin resistance. It works better than medicine. However, if you don't correct the blood glucose appropriately during and after your exercise routine, you will suffer fatigue, lack of concentration, and a sluggish feeling for the rest of the day, or the following day if the exercise was later in the day. Always correct your blood sugar after exercise by taking a higher GI food or drink within 10 minutes after you've completed your exercise.